Hello friends, Namaskar. Today we'll discuss another course of MA Education program. Now it's time of 2 p.m. and 59 minutes. Just after 1 minute we'll start our today's session. Let us wait for 1 minute. Yes friends, now exactly it is 3 p.m. So as per our planning, today we'll discuss another course of MA Education program of Indira Gandhi National Open University. First of all, let me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Niradhar De, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University. On behalf of my school, that is School of Education IGNOU, and on my personal behalf, I welcome all of you, all our learners, all our MA education learners, and other learners who are interested to know about the concept of education as a discipline, which is practiced at the master level. That is just like the MA education program, and the research scholars who are interested to know the concept and educational discourses, education as a discipline. So I welcome all of you, our MA education learners, at the same time all other viewers who are presently watching this Facebook live session. So friends, I have already discussed the first course of MA education program. The course code was MES-011. Course title was Understanding Education. In my last session, I have discussed about the concept, about the discourses, about the philosophy, and mostly the content points and the course structure and design. I have already discussed in my first lesson. It is available in your IGNOU MA Education Learners Facebook group, and the recorded video program is also available in my personal Facebook page, and this is also available in IGNOU official Facebook page, and this is also available in my YouTube channel also. So by using any account, any Facebook page, and also in my YouTube channel, you can go through, you can watch the earlier programs that I have conducted. And today we are going to discuss the second course of MA Education program. The course code is MES-012 and course title is Education, Nature and Purposes. Education, Nature and Purposes. So friends, let us try to discuss that what are the concepts, what are the major teaching learning points, and what are the major aspects of the nature and purpose of education that has been addressed in this course. And let me to say that when I was discussing the first course, that is MES-011 Understanding Education, I have already discussed that that course, the first course was just like a bridge course. That course that is designed in a, you can say, particularly to provide certain basic information about education as a discipline to the learners, because the eligibility criteria to take admission in MA education program is a graduate who had studied education as a discipline at their undergraduate level, or the learners who have not studied education as a discipline. So that's why, to provide a type of knowledge, a type of concept about education as a discipline, and the basic concept that are addressed education as a discipline we have discussed in the first course, and the concept of the first course will further help you to understand the other courses. And today the course that we are going to discuss, Education Nature and Purposes, you will find some of the concept that we have discussed at the surface level in the first course is also a part of this course, and in this course you will find that this has been discussed in a very elaborative manner. Okay, so further let us go to discuss about before discussing the concept of this course. So let me to give a detailed overview very quickly, a detailed overview about the MA education program, because what I have experienced, if I will not tell about the MA education program and the course structure, the design of the program, you will find that few learners you can say they are connecting with us, you can say new learners they are connecting with us. So for them, though we have discussed earlier, again very quickly I am going through it so that they can understand about the program structure, at the same time the other aspect of this program. I have already said that the eligibility of this program is a bachelor's degree in any discipline with or without a degree in education from a recognized university. Okay, so that means a bachelor's degree holder who has studied education as a discipline, that means education as a subject or education as an honored subject at their graduation level, they are eligible to pursue MA education program, and also the learners who has not studied education as a discipline. Okay, so it means if they have studied any other discipline, any other subject, and they have pursued their graduation, if they are motivated to study education, to pursue MA education program, they are also eligible. Then further, the total credit of this program is of 68, and the learners they are supposed to study 34 credits in the first year and again 34 credits in the second year. Further, I will tell that what are the different courses of 34 credits weightage they have to study in the first year, and again in the second year what are the different courses are there, and that carries again 34 credits. And as you know, this is a master degree program. This is the minimum duration of this program is of 2 years, and the maximum duration of this program as per the IGNOU practices, it is of 4 years. That means you can complete your program taking the minimum time period, that is 2 years, and you can also, because mostly the learners that we are getting, they are engaged somewhere in different world of work, they are self-employed also, so that's why a maximum 4 years time period is given, that as per your convenience you can also complete. That flexibility is in your hand, that you can complete your program in a maximum time period of 4 years. Then further, we offer, as per the system of IGNOU, we offer this program in 2 sessions. That means first in the January session in a year, then again in the July session in the same year. That means in a year we practice 2 sessions. You can take admission in January and you can also take admission in July. Admission in July session is approaching now. Admission date has not declared, and many mails I am receiving that when the admission announcement will happen for this MA education program. Today also I have replied a few of the mails. So from this program, from this live program, I am telling you that please go through IGNOU website www.ignou.ac.in regularly, so that I think on any day in the month of June you will find the admission announcement, the online admission announcement for this program, and you can take direct admission. Then further, let us go forward to discuss another aspect of this program. The medium of instruction of this program is of English. The self-learning material or the study material that you say, it has been developed in English medium, but learners हमें मेल करते हैं, हमें पूछते हैं, टेलीफोन में हमें पूछते हैं कि हिंदी में वो असाइनमेंट लिख सकते हैं क्या, हिंदी में टर्म एंड एग्जामिनेशन वो दे सकते हैं क्या, अपना जो डिसर्टेशन कंपोनेंट एक है, प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड कंपोनेंट एक है, प्रैक्टिकल ओरिएंटेड कोर्स सेकेंड ईयर में एक है, क्या उसे वो हिंदी में कर सकते हैं. तो लेट मी टू से though the program has been developed in English medium, that means the learning materials that you will get, that is in English, but you can write your assignment in both the languages, in English as well as in Hindi, and you can also appear the term and examination both in English as well as in Hindi medium, and you will find that the assignment questions as well as the term and examination questions you will find in both the languages, in both the medium. Okay, so that's why you will not find any difficulties to understand the question and to attempt in your own language. Then further, in the second year, we have a dissertation component in this program. In the dissertation component, what you have to do, आपको एक रिसर्च प्रपोजल पहले बनाना पड़ेगा, ठीक है, एक शोध प्रस्ताव आपको बनाना पड़ेगा. Then the research proposal will be approved by the concerned regional center. Then after getting the approval letter, you have to pursue a dissertation and you have to write a dissertation report. So दो मेजर काम आप जो करेंगे, एक सिनॉप्सिस और द रिसर्च प्रपोजल आपको लिखना होगा डिसर्टेशन करने के लिए, एंड फर्दर यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर ए डिसर्टेशन रिपोर्ट. ये दोनों जो रिसर्च प्रपोजल एंड रिसर्च रिपोर्ट आप चाहिए इंग्लिश में लिखें या आप चाहिए हिंदी में लिखें, सो दोनों लैंग्वेज में इसे आप कर सकते हैं. सो दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इज इन योर हैंड. सो दैट्स व्हाई फ्रेंड्स, असाइनमेंट आप हिंदी या इंग्लिश किसी भी लैंग्वेज में लिख सकते हैं. टर्म एंड एग्जामिनेशन आपके सहूलियत के हिसाब से आप हिंदी में अटेंड कर सकते हैं या इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में आप अटेंड कर सकते हैं. और डिसर्टेशन के लिए जो रिसर्च प्रपोजल है और डिसर्टेशन रिपोर्ट है, ये इंग्लिश में हो या हिंदी में हो, आप जिसमें इजी महसूस करते हैं उसमें आप कर सकते हैं. Then the program fee as per the January 2021 session, the total program fee of 18,400. However, you have to pay the program fee in 2 installments. That means during the admission of the first year, you have to pay 9,200. And at the beginning of the second year, during the time of re-registration, you have to pay another 9,200. And I'm telling this is for January 2021 session. And this July 2021 session, there might be certain changes that I cannot say. After the admission announcement, you can get it from the common prospectus. It may be slightly changed. So please go through the common prospectus in the admission portal. The next, so far as the program framework is concerned, you know, MA education program comprises in 4 groups of courses with differential weightage. Just like the 4 groups, means the entire program, entire 2 years programs are designed in 4 groups. The courses are kept in different 4 groups. Just like Group A, you will find the courses under basic courses on education. Group B, you will find the courses which is the core courses. In Group C, courses on knowledge generation in education. And in Group D, you will find the courses under specialized areas in education. Further, we will discuss that what are the different courses are there in each group. So you see, Group 1, you will find a single course of 4 credit course, that is understanding education. Course code is MES-012. This is the basic course on education. I have already discussed the introduction of this course, that the design of this course, what are the different blocks are there, units are there. At the same time, the basic concept on education that has been discussed, the basic philosophy and the educational discourses that has been addressed in this course, I have already discussed in my earlier Facebook live session. So if you have not gone through it, please go through the video and you will find out a detailed understanding. You can acquaint yourself that what is the concept of education, how education is a discipline, and what are the different aspects that you're supposed to do in the first year and second year of this MA education program. And further, in Group B, this is the core courses. This group addresses the core courses. You will find 4 core courses are there in this group. The codes are just like MES-012 Education, Nature and Purpose, MES-013 Learning, Learner and Development, MES-014 that is Societal Context of Education, and MES-015 that is Operational Dimensions of Education. So friends, these 4 courses are come under the core courses, under these core courses in Group B, and all these 4 courses you have to study. It has been kept in the first year of this MA education program, and each course is of 6 credit weightage. So total 24 credits course you have to study under this group B. And today we are going to discuss MES-012 Education, Nature and Purpose. This is the second course which is studied in the first year of MA Education program. Today we are going to discuss the detail about this course. Then in group C, this is the courses on knowledge generation in education. ग्रुप सी में दो कोर्सेस रखा गया है. एक एजुकेशनल रिसर्च कोर्स कोड है MES-016. फर्स्ट ईयर में यह कोर्स रखा गया है and the credit weightage of this course is of 6, and in second year you have to study MESP-001 dissertation. Okay, so this dissertation course is a practical oriented course, is a project course, and this course you have to study in the second year. This is the credit weightage of this course is of 10. So friends, let me to say that I have taken more than 10 Facebook live sessions and other YouTube sessions related to dissertation. So how we will prepare a research proposal, what are the different components of research proposal is there, what are the supports that that has been provided to you by Indira Gandhi National Open University or by this program for pursuing your dissertation work that I have already discussed. Okay, please go through the earlier video lessons which is available in different Facebook platforms. In my Facebook page, in School of Education Facebook page, in IGNOU MA Education Learners Facebook group, at the same time in IGNOU official Facebook page, as well as in my YouTube channel. Please go through it. And in group D, further you will find that 5 different areas are there, and that we call as the specialized area in education. Okay, 5 areas are there, just like higher education is one area. Then distance education, educational management and administration, educational technology and adult education. And you will find 4 courses are included in higher education, 5 courses in distance education, again 4 courses in educational management and administration, then 4 courses in educational technology, and again 4 courses in adult education. So what you have to do, the learners have to select any one area among the 5 areas and have to study all the courses in that area. Total credit in each area is of 24. So what you have to do, first you have to select one area. It may be higher education, it may be distance education, or educational management and administration, or educational technology, or adult education. Any one area. Okay? And after selecting one area, what you have to do, all the courses are included in that area. You have to study all the courses. So here there is no scope to select few courses from one area and to select few courses from another area. So first you have to select one area, then you have to study all the courses included in that area. And you will find that every area, the courses that that are included are of total 24 credits. So here you see in higher education 4 courses are there, each course credit is of 6. So that's why 4 courses you have to study 24. Again in distance education 5 courses are there. If you include the credit weightage of 5 courses, so total 24 credits you have to study. Then specialized areas of education, this is you can say the courses that are included in different areas of specialized education. Just like in higher education, you will find that MES-101, 102, 103 and 104. Distance education, MES-111, 112, 113, 114 and 115. Educational management and administration, MES-041, 42, 43 and 44. Accordingly, these courses in educational technology and adult education are there. So what you have to do, please go through the program guide as well as the common prospectus which is available in IGNOU website. Go through the common prospectus. You will find that what are the different courses, what are the different course codes that have been kept in the first year as well as in the second year of MA education program. So friends, अभी चलिए हम डिस्कशन करते हैं कि आज का हमारा जो कोर्स है ग्रुप बी का जो है कोर कोर्सेस, अंडर कोर कोर्सेस, one course that is MES-012 Education, Nature and Purposes. Okay, MES-011 you have studied in the first year under the group A in the first year of MA education program. That was the first course, and MES-012 Education, Nature and Purposes is the second course. Okay, and this is a 6 credit course and you have to study in the first year of this program. This course MES-012 Education, Nature and Purposes, this has designed 4 blocks, designed in 4 blocks with 17 units. So I have already said in my earlier program that we consider the smallest section or the smallest unit of the self-learning material or of a course is called as an unit. ठीक है, ये जो है आप इसे एक चैप्टर कह सकते हैं, यूनिट कह सकते हैं, एक मॉड्यूल आप कह सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो एक मॉड्यूल जो है एक यूनिट है. सो इसमें कितने मॉड्यूल है और कितने यूनिट है? 17 मॉड्यूल है और 17 यूनिट्स है. एंड these 17 units are again distributed in 4 different blocks. Block 1, concept and nature of education. Block 2, knowledge in education. Block 3, that is aims and goals of education. And block 4, that is curriculum, its various aspects. So mostly, the concept and the discourses, the philosophy and the content points that has been discussed in this course is based upon the nature of education, the scope of education, you can say the function of education, then how education as a discipline, how from a knowledge base, how a discipline has been emerged, and further we will discuss about the aims and goals of education, what is goal of education, what is aims of education, what is objectives of education, and what is the difference between the goals, aims and education. Okay, so that we will discuss. At the same time, we will also discuss about curriculum and its various aspects. What you call as curriculum, how a curriculum is different from a syllabus, and how we design a curriculum, what are the different principles that we follow for designing a curriculum, and what are the different models that we follow for designing a curriculum. And further, after developing a curriculum, after implementing a curriculum, how you can evaluate the curriculum. So what processes that you will follow for evaluate, and what model and principles that you will follow for evaluating the curriculum. So friends, this course will provide you a detailed understanding starting from the concept of education, nature of education, scope of education. At the same time, education as a broad discipline and the practices of education as a discipline, as a liberal discipline, at the same time as a applied discipline. And we will also discuss the aims of education. You can say at different sphere of life or at different sphere of education, what are the different aims that we will discuss. And we will also discuss about the curriculum, its construction, its design, its principles and its evaluation. So friends, let us go forward to discuss the concept that has been addressed in block 1, that is concept and nature of education. The title of block 1 is concept and nature of education. You see friends, block 1 is designed in 4 different units. You see, unit 1 is concept and meaning of education. Unit 2 is education as a field of knowledge. Unit 3 is scope of education, and unit 4 is characterizing education. So what are the different concepts and what are the different knowledge, different you can say concept that has been addressed in this block? First of all, in my earlier session, I have discussed to understand about education. We very well understand that education is a continuous process. Okay, the process of education, it starts from the very birth of the child and it continues till the death. जन्म से मृत्यु तक चलने वाला यह एक प्रक्रिया है. ठीक है, एट एवरी स्टेज ऑफ लाइफ, एट एवरी पीरियड ऑफ लाइफ, एट एवरी एज ऑफ लाइफ, there is the opportunity, there is the scope to learn something. You might have engaged yourself in different world of work now. You have studied your school education, you have studied your higher education, and at the same time you are pursuing your Master of Education program, and you are also engaged in different different job, different world of work. Okay, so you just tell me a single day where you are not getting a new experience, a new knowledge, you are not engaging yourself a new type of engagement, a new type of experience, a new type of observation, and a new type of activity. So that's why we can say that it may be a formal knowledge that you are gaining, maybe from the formal way, or it may be from the non-formal way, or it may be informally. Informally means when you are coming in contact with the people, when you are coming in contact with the family member, with the community, with the society, with your immediate environment, when you are traveling, when you are moving, when you are coming in contact of people from different religion, from different culture, from different region, okay, from different geographical background. So when you are interacting with them, जब उनके साथ आप संवाद करते हैं, आप देखेंगे बहुत सारे चीजें आप खुद सीखते हैं जो कि पहले आप खुद ही एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं, जो पहले आप नहीं जानते थे. So that's why we can say that education is a continuous process and education is also a lifelong process. Okay, आप ऐसे कह नहीं सकते कि you have completed your formal education, then the scope of education has ended after completion of the formal education. No. At present, I am just pursuing a job. I am a teacher here. I am just dealing to the learners coming from learners of different learners of education discipline in different programs. But you see, when I contact with my learners, I also learn many things. Okay, so whatever I had studied in my college education, in my university education, when I was pursuing my master, when I was pursuing my MPhil and PhD, at the time when I am just recapitulating the days, and today when I am just introspecting myself, then I am getting a different picture. So I am getting an idea that the knowledge that I had gained from my you can say academic manifestation, from my academic courses, from my academic degrees, now that knowledge has been enriched a lot. I have experienced a lot. Okay, and many a time I also include my experiences with the knowledge, with the theories, with the concepts that I have already studied. So that's why concept and under concept and meaning of education, we have discussed that how education is a lifelong process, how education is a continuous process. And here we have also discussed about the concept of education, the ideas of education given by you can say the renowned philosophers and educationists. If I will give example of few educationists, if I will talk about Mahatma Gandhi says that education, by education I mean an all-round drawing out of the man, body, mind and spirit. So that's why Gandhiji has given importance upon the total development of the human child. That means through education. So physical development of the child, emotional development of the child, social development of the child, mental development of the child. Okay, so it will be developed. So that means it addresses all aspects of the development of the human child. Okay, and if I go through the definition given by the idealistic definition given by Swami Vivekananda, you can say that education is the manifestation of divine perfection. That means education manifests the knowledge that you have already gained from the divine. From the divine means from the supreme soul, you can say. So education works as a medium. Education works as a media. Education works as a tool to exhibit the knowledge that you have already there. It manifests. उसे प्रकाश को लाता है जो already आपके पास है, उसे आलोकित करता है. ठीक है? And further you'll find, if you go through this unit and if you go through the definition of education given by the educationists, the renowned philosophers, you will find that some have said about education is the reconstruction of experiences. That means every time, every moment, what we do, we just reconstruct our experiences. Means the earlier experiences that we have gained from the environment, from different situations, meeting with the people from our environment. So every time you will find that when we observe new things, we gain new and new information, new and new knowledge. And when we involve ourselves in a type of research, you can say, then our earlier knowledge base, the knowledge that we have received earlier, we also refine it, we also modify it. So that's why we can say that education is continuously, it reconstruct our experiences. No experience is permanent, okay? And no knowledge is permanent. Every time you will find that there is the scope for modification of the knowledge base, the modification of the knowledge that you have received. Many a time you will find that the earlier theories, earlier concept, earlier laws are getting changing. Why it is changing? Because the emergence of new knowledge, because the emergence of new areas of knowledge, okay, emergence of new theories, because of you can say you can say research, investigation. So that's why here we have discussed that the concept and meaning of education, this is not simple. Education is not, you cannot understand education narrowly, rather you can say education has a broad concept. Then further in Unit 2, we have discussed about education as a field of knowledge. I was talking earlier that education as a discipline. So friends, in B.Ed curriculum also, if you have pursued your B.Ed program as per the NCTE Regulation 2014, you will find that one course is there, Understanding Disciplines and Subjects. Okay, I have coordinated this course in IGNOU B.Ed program. This course says that how a discipline has been emerged. Okay, so you can say the journey of a discipline or a journey of a subject, it starts from where? So that's why, keeping in consideration of this, you see the new concept that NCT has come out today in 2014 had introduced a new course. You will find that this has been addressed in MA education program in quite earlier. Okay, here we have discussed education as a field of knowledge. So that means you will find that we have discussed here, first of all, what is knowledge, the concept of knowledge, and we have discussed about education as a discipline. So here you see, we can say that when we combine a particular type of knowledge, and from there a discipline has been emerged. That means we can say a type of knowledge of a discipline of science, of a discipline of social science, of a discipline of language and literature, a discipline of physical science, a discipline of yoga education, peace education is something different. The knowledge base and the discourses, the knowledge discourses, the theories, the principles, the processes of knowledge, you will find that in science it is somehow different from social science. In science we talk about experimentation, we talk about scientific discovery, we talk about scientific observation, but in social science we talk about social discovery, social narrative, social observation. Okay, so the interpersonal communication. So that's why the processes of knowledge in different discipline is different. So that's why when we address a particular type of knowledge, and from there a particular discipline has been emerged. It may be a discipline of physics, it may be a discipline of chemistry, it may be a discipline of mathematics, discipline of in social science, discipline of political science, public administration, anthropology, philosophy, economics, history, accordingly education. So many a time certain questions comes to our mind that whether education is a discipline. So if education is a discipline, then what are the different knowledge base it addresses? Then what are the characteristics of a discipline? So we have discussed here that education as a discipline, as the just like the characteristics of a discipline of other discipline, you will find that all the characteristics are equally followed in education as a discipline. Just like a discipline is having a substantial body of knowledge, education being a discipline, you will find that education is having a broad-based knowledge, a substantial body of knowledge. You will find different branches of education. It may be guidance and counseling, it may be teacher education, it may be distance education, it may be educational technology, it may be educational evaluation, it may be curriculum studies, educational management and administration, school leadership and management, and accordingly many areas you will find in education that got practiced. So that's why education is a, you can say this discipline carries a substantial body of knowledge. And just like other discipline, in education as a discipline is also having a research base. That means you can conduct a research in education discipline. You can do a type of experimental research, you can do a type of philosophical research, can do a type of historical research in education, and also you can do a survey research, a descriptive survey research in the discipline of education. So that's why it has a research base, and you will find that education as a discipline is having a type of academic manifestation. Just like in other discipline, you will find that we develop certain syllabi and curriculum at different level of education, at different stages of education. It may be at the undergraduate level, it may be at the postgraduate level, and you will find that the students they take admission and they pursue a course, they pursue a program. They attended all the activities, all the component of that program or of that course, and evaluation. They attend the evaluation system which is designed in that program, and certification are also done. So that's why in education also you'll find that education as a subject, it is being practiced at the undergraduate level, at the graduation level, at the same time at the post-graduation level, at the MPhil as well as in research also in PhD level. Okay, so you will find that the group of learners, they are taking admission in UG and PG program to pursue education. Okay, so that's why education as a discipline, you will find that it has a substantial body of knowledge first, it has a research base, a group of intellectuals, followers are well aligned with this discipline. You will find that a strong followers, a group of followers who continuously work in this discipline. Okay, and they bring changes by doing research, they bring changes in this discipline. Okay, so a group of followers are there who work in this discipline, and at the same time education as a discipline is having you can say an institutional manifestation, an academic manifestation. Students take admission in different programs and they pursue their education. So that's why, friends, in this unit we have discussed that education as a field of knowledge. So what are the different aspects that has been addressed in this unit we have discussed. Then further we have discussed we have discussed about the scope of education. So here you see we have discussed scope of education in 3 different viewpoints. First we have discussed on the viewpoint of different learning environment. On the viewpoint of different learning environment, we can say the scope of education, that is the formal education, non-formal education as well as informal education. This is the first scope of education so far as the learning environment is concerned. In formal education, just like your schooling, आप क्या करते हैं? When you entered in the school, in the formal system of schooling, आप देखेंगे एक सिलेबस, एक करिकुलम डेवलप किया जाता है, टीचर्स अपॉइंट किए गए हैं स्कूल में, और एवरीडे फेस टू फेस क्लासेस आर देयर. ठीक है, जो करिकुलम डेवलप किया जाता है, टीचर उस करिकुलम को ट्रांसलेट करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को. ठीक है, एंड लॉट ऑफ एक्टिविटीज विद इन द स्कूल एंड आउटसाइड द स्कूल दैट आल्सो टेकन प्लेस. एंड फाइनली स्टूडेंट्स the learners who has taken admission, they attended the continuous assessment. At the same time, the summative assessment or summative evaluation that you call as the term and evaluation. And on the basis of continuous and term and evaluation, certifications are done. So this is possible in a conventional system of education, in a face-to-face system of education. So you learn new knowledge, many new experiences in the formal system of education. At the same time, in a non-formal system of education, just like in distance education system. So you can just take the example that you have taken admission in Indira Gandhi National Open University. So here every day we are not taking the classes. Okay, so here no need of coming to a particular place every day, just like in a conventional system of education or a face-to-face system of education. We have developed quality learning material, self-learning material that we have provided to you, hard copy and both hard copy and soft copies, and we conduct certain sessions from here by using different media. Okay, in television you will find that in Ganderson channel we try to we engage ourselves in different topics to reach at you. We also use the Swayamprabha channels. At the same time, we also use the audio video programs to reach at you by using the YouTube channel. At the same time, by using different social media, just like today I am taking a session in Facebook Live. Accordingly, I also take session in YouTube and in other social media also. So here what I mean to say, in non-formal education system, a properly designed quality system has been designed that you will get the learning materials, and you will find that the teachers, the distant teachers, they will address you by using different media. Okay. And at the study center and the regional center, you also come contact with them for the induction and counseling sessions, for tutorial sessions and other types of your engagement. So that's why from non-formal system of education, you also gain much education, much knowledge. Then at the same time, informal education system, I have already discussed in informal education system that no formal schooling is there, no institution is there, okay. And when you come contact with the people, you can say that from the family, the juniors in the family, the children in the family, they come contact with the parents and the seniors. And when they come contact with the seniors, they learn many things, they get new experiences. And when they come contact with the environment, जिस परिवेश में आप रहते हैं, उसी परिवेश में जब आपका संवाद होता है, उस परिवेश इंटरेक्शन में जब आप लाते हैं, चाहे फिजिकल एनवायरनमेंट हो, सोशल एनवायरनमेंट हो, कम्युनिटी कांटेक्ट में जब आप आते हैं, सोशल मेंबर्स के कांटेक्ट में जब आप आते हैं, आपके साथ उनका जब वार्तालाप होता है, इंटरेक्शन होता है, तो भी बहुत सारे चीजें आप सीखते हैं रिगार्डिंग the social norms, regarding the social happenings, the culture, the tradition, the way of living, languages. ठीक है, लोग अलग अलग भाषा कैसे बोलते हैं और कहाँ कहाँ. You'll find that India is a very huge country. If you'll go through from extreme north to extreme south, extreme northeast to extreme west, you will find that it is a very diversified country. But we consider that all this diversity, ये जितने सारे विविधताएं हैं, ये सभी विविधताएं हमें यूनाइटेड करने के लिए एक प्रेरणा देता है. ठीक है, so we consider that all our diversities as our strength, and that helps us to unite us. So that's why, friends, what I'm saying here, under the scope of education, when I'm talking about informal education, जिसको इंसिडेंटल एजुकेशन आप कह सकते हैं, जैसे जैसे लोगों के संपर्क में आप आते हैं, जैसे जैसे अलग कल्चर से लोग जो है उनके संस्पर्श में आते हैं, जब आप ट्रैवल करते हैं डिफरेंट, एक अलग रीजन को, एक अलग स्टेट को, एंड वहां जब लोगों का एक्टिविटी आप देखते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें आप खुद सीखते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू कैन नॉट मेक ए बाउंड्री फॉर गेटिंग एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड नॉलेज only in the formal system of education, only in the face-to-face system of education, only in the conventional system of education. Rather, much of knowledge that you can gain, that you can attend, that you can achieve by using the other learning environment, just like the non-formal as well as the informal learning environment that we have discussed. Then the another viewpoint we have also discussed here, the viewpoint of study of knowledge. So here the scope of education is liberal education. Then further we can say professional education as well as vocational and technical education. This is so far as the study of knowledge is concerned. Liberal education means just like you are doing your general UG and PG program, just like you have enrolled in MA education program. Many have enrolled in MA history program, MA economics program, MSc physics, okay, MSc chemistry. So accordingly, these are the liberal program. This is also a scope of education. Then further, vocational. So you can also, professional education, you can also enroll in different professional education. Let me to say, if you want to be a teacher, you can enroll yourself, you can pursue a B.Ed program. Or if you want to be an educational administrator, you can pursue a type of M.Ed program. Okay, and you can also pursue a type of DLED program, Diploma in Elementary Education program, to be a teacher at the elementary stage. And for B.Ed program to be a teacher at the secondary and senior secondary stage. So friends, DLED, B.Ed and M.Ed are just like professional program in teacher education. Accordingly in law, in technology, in you can say in management, many professional programs are there. So that's why this is also another scope of education, so far as the study of knowledge is concerned. Then further we can say vocational and technical education. So friends, many areas, many vocational areas are there, many craft-centered areas are there. You will find that a huge number of learners, they are interested to engage themselves after school education, after completion of higher secondary. They want to involve themselves to get a type of training, to get a type of expertise knowledge in a particular type of vocation, a particular type of you can say technical education, and to engage in the world of work. It may be carpentry, it may be weaving, it may be any other types of vocation also. So that's why this is also another scope of education. And further, the third viewpoint, so far as the scope of education is concerned, that is on the viewpoint of the mode of providing education. So friends, you get education by using three different modes. First is the face-to-face mode, that you can say the conventional mode, and second is the ODL, or the distance education mode, that you can say. ODL, that is Open and Distance Learning System, means the MA education program in Indira Gandhi National Open University, which is now that you are presently doing. So that is, you can say, open and distance learning. The mode that we are using, that is the ODL mode. Okay, we provide the learning materials and we use many media to reach at you. At the same time, now you will find that the another mode of education which is getting popular day by day across the world, that is the online education. In online education, by using the internet, so what you will do, you have to engage yourself, to pursue a type of online course. You will get audio and video lessons, you will get e-content, then further you will get, you can say, online interaction with the instructor or with the teachers. Okay, and by just like what you are doing, we are using the social media, and in online education, one online platform, education platform will be there, and by using that platform, both the teacher and students will come, will use that platform and they will interact. Okay, and assessment will also assessment will also conducted online. Okay, so by using the online media and online mode, you can also get education. So that's why in this unit, in units 3, we have discussed about 3 media: the face-to-face, that's called as the conventional mode of education. Then we have discussed about that is the open and distance learning system, the ODL mode, as well as the online education system. Then further in unit 4, we have discussed that is characterizing education. So here in this unit, we have discussed that is education as an initiation. So you will find that if you are interested, if you are willing to do, then you can do certain things. So you can learn, you can experience many things. So that's why it depends upon your initiation, your motivation. Okay, if you want to do, then definitely you can do. Then further we can discuss in this unit, that is education as bringing of children. This is the grooming of the children, which is you can say it starts from the very beginning at the home. Okay, the parents, or mostly the mother, is called as the first teacher of the child. So you will find that from the school education, from the home onwards, you are nurturing the child, you are educating the child, and you are just grooming them. Okay, and further, when they are grown up, they are coming in contact with the society, and at a particular age, they are coming to the formal school system. They take admission in a school, and formally in a classroom, you will find that they are interacting with the peers, with the groups, at the same time with their teachers. Okay, so we have also discussed here education as a bringing of the children. Then further, education is socialization. So friends, getting education, so there is the scope to be socialized. Okay, you will acquaint yourself about the social norms, social practices, the value system of the society, and the culture of the society, the language, and how to come contact with the people, how to be a social animal, or you can say a social being, how to change your attitude. So that also we have discussed in this unit. And further, we have also discussed education as a promotion of desirable behavior. Every moment when you pursue education, when you come contact to gain certain new education, it means you are changing your behavior. The earlier behavior are getting changing. Okay, then further, education is a reconstruction of experiences. I have already said that this is also one of the definition of education, that every time we reconstruct our experiences, the earlier experiences that we have gained. So what you are doing, by using the earlier experiences, we gain new experiences, we get new knowledge, and we refine our earlier experiences, and we refine the earlier knowledge that we have gained. Then further in this unit, we have also discussed education as a total development of the individual, as Gandhiji's vision on education, Gandhiji's ideas and concept of education or the definition of education, Gandhiji says that by education I mean an all-round drawing out of the child and man, body, mind and spirit. So all-round डेवलपमेंट, सामग्रिक विकास, ठीक है, व्यक्ति का सिर्फ एक एस्पेक्ट का विकास नहीं है. सो विकास का सिर्फ विकास एक ही दिशा में नहीं होना चाहिए, सामग्रिक विकास होना चाहिए. टोटल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ टोटल पर्सनालिटी ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल, फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट, intellectual development or the mental development, at the same time emotional development, social development, spiritual development, ठीक है. तो हर प्रकार का डेवलपमेंट होना चाहिए. So friends, in characterizing education, we have discussed that how education works, or how education, the functions of education at different field that we have discussed. Then friends, now let us try to discuss the second block. The block title is Knowledge in Education. In this block has been designed in 3 units, Unit 5, 6 and 7. Unit 5, the title is Concept and Nature of Knowledge. Then Unit 6, the unit title is Ancient Indian Concept and Nature of Knowledge. And Unit 7, that is Medieval or the Islamic Indian Concept and Nature of Knowledge. So here we have discussed, first of all, we have discussed the concept of knowledge, the nature of knowledge. Okay, as I have already discussed when I discussed about education as a discipline, and how knowledge, a particular knowledge base, or how categorizing a particular type of knowledge, that you can say frame a discipline, that we have discussed. And every discipline, and the characteristics of a discipline, just like every discipline is having a substantial body of knowledge, every discipline is having a research base, every discipline is having an academic or institutional manifestation, and every discipline you will find that they use a particular method, a particular technique and strategy to implement that discipline. And a dedicated group of professionals are there that we call as the followers, as the researchers. They continuously work in that discipline. So here we have discussed that the nature of knowledge, we have discussed here the concept of knowledge and how we gain knowledge, how we acquire knowledge. So what are the different sources that we use for acquainting ourselves or for gaining knowledge? Okay, by experience we gain many knowledge. We come by experience we construct our own knowledge, and by doing you can say the other sources, we can say intuition, though it is not an objective source of knowledge, scientific base is not there, but many a time we consider that intuition is also gaining knowledge, is a source of gaining knowledge, of acquiring knowledge. Then further, empiricism, we also discuss about empiricism. Okay, so empiricism means we do a type of study, just like we do a type of experiment. We involve ourselves in process of studying something for reaching at a point, or by developing a theory, by developing a concept, by developing a laws, by developing a principle. Okay, so by conducting a study, by adopting a definite process of conducting that study, we develop a theory. So that is also a type of knowledge. And by rationalization, by using our reasoning, we also that can also be a source for acquiring knowledge. By observation, by observing the things which is happening within our environment, within where we are living, within the immediate environment, we also gain many knowledge and many experiences. So that's why, friends, we have discussed all such things in this unit, and further we have discussed about the division of knowledge, so how we can divide knowledge so far as the concept of knowledge is concerned. So here we have discussed that 3 types of knowledge. There is the 3 divisions of knowledge, you can say, that is a priori knowledge, posteriori knowledge and experienced knowledge. So let us try to understand that what is a priori knowledge, what is posteriori knowledge, and what is experienced knowledge. A priori knowledge, it talks about there is no need of validating that knowledge. That knowledge has already validated. That knowledge is the truth, you can say. That is the universal or generalization has already been done. means the observations that what you observe in the society, in the community where we live in. Many a time you will find that you can say the universal truth, okay, which no need of further any verification. So that's why we can say these are the a priori knowledge. मतलब उसका सत्यता पहले हो चुका है और हम सिर्फ उसे ऑब्जर्व करते हैं, हम सिर्फ उसे देखते हैं और उसका सत्यता हमें दोबारा जस्टिफाई करने का, दोबारा स्टडी करने का जरूरत नहीं है, वेरीफाई करने का जरूरत नहीं है. हम कहते हैं यू कैन से मैन आर मोर्टल, ठीक है, मनुष्य मरणशील है, तो इसे वेरीफाई करने का जरूरत नहीं है. दिस इज ऑलरेडी वेरीफाइड एंड वी ऑब्जर्व इट इन आवर सोसाइटी. हम पैदा हुए हैं तो एक दिन तो हम मरेंगे ही, ठीक है, कोई आगे मर जाएंगे, कोई पीछे मर जाएंगे, बट मृत्यु अवश्य हम भी, मतलब ये होगा ही होगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई ए प्रायोरी नॉलेज मीन्स आपको यहाँ सत्यता प्रतिपादन करने का जरूरत नहीं है. दैट मीन्स दैट हैज ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट. Then posteriori knowledge, we can say that by using a scientific method, by using a scientific technique, by using certain scientific processes, we can verify the knowledge. Just like we can say we observe certain things and then after we can verify that things also. So many a time we engage ourselves in different types of scientific principles, in different type of study. Just like here you can say in MA education program in the second year you have a course of dissertation. Okay, in dissertation what you have to do? You have to do a type of study. ठीक है, एक छोटा सा रिसर्च आप करेंगे, ठीक है, एक मेथड्स यूज करेंगे, कुछ टूल्स आप लेंगे, सैम्पलिंग करेंगे. दैट मीन्स एक थीम, एजुकेशन का एक थीम लेकर जो टॉपिक आप लेंगे उस टॉपिक को ऊपर आप स्टडी करेंगे, कुछ ऑब्जर्वेशन आप करेंगे, करके एक फाइंडिंग्स एस्टैब्लिश आप करेंगे. So that's called as a posteriori knowledge. That means you have to adopt a method, definite method. You have to adopt certain technique for you can say justifying a thing, for verifying a thing, for you can say for developing a theory or developing a type of knowledge. And many a time a posteriori knowledge that can also be changed. Okay, because of many a time you will find that the earlier established truth or earlier established knowledge may be further modified, may be further changed. That can also be done. So we have discussed here the posteriori knowledge, and at the same time we have also discussed the experienced knowledge. Experienced knowledge, that means as an individual you have experienced many things in your life, ठीक है, day to day you are getting your life experiences and accordingly you are constructing your own knowledge. आप कुछ एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं, कुछ अनुभव आपका हो रहा है हर दिन हर क्षण, जहां आप रहते हैं, जिस सोसाइटी में आप रहते हैं, जहां आप काम करते हैं, लोगों के कांटेक्ट में जब आप आते हैं, और वही सब एक्सपीरियंस है आपको ज्ञान रचना करने में, नॉलेज कंस्ट्रक्ट करने में, नया चीजें समझने के लिए आपको मदद करता है, ठीक है. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज आल्सो अनदर डिवीजन ऑफ द नॉलेज, दैट इज द एक्सपीरियंस नॉलेज. बट दिस इज समहाउ सब्जेक्टिव इन नेचर because many a time your experience and others' experience one can also question to you about your own experience, and that can be further verifiable also. So such things we have discussed in unit 5. Then in unit 6 and 7, in unit 6 we have discussed about ancient Indian concept and nature of knowledge. So nature of knowledge in ancient Indian concept. Okay, so here we have discussed so far as ancient Indian education is concerned, we learn many things, or the knowledge that we practice today in our schooling for constructing curriculum, for designing teaching learning process. You will find that most of the things this has been brought from the ancient system of education. In the Gurukul system of education that was practiced at the Vedic period, at the post-Vedic period, you will find that how the disciples and the gurus were staying together in the ashram, in the residential schools far from the home. Okay, घर से दूर residential school में, residential ashram में वो रहते थे, and everyday interaction was taking place between the sishyas and the gurus on different topic. That topic may be related to life, that topic may be related to philosophy, that topic may be related to medicine, that topic may be related to ethics and values, that topic may be related to agriculture and other aspects, values. Okay, so that's why, friends, you will find that the Sishyas, those who are staying with the Gurus, they are doing many activities in the natural environment, in the natural surrounding. They were engaging themselves for gathering their livelihood also. वो क्या खाएंगे उनको खुद उनको मतलब वो करना पड़ता था. And at the same time, they were living in a group. They are also developing sense of a type of socialization, and they are getting many knowledge. And at that time, you will find that most of the things that was done verbally, means the Gurus, what the Gurus were telling or interacting to the disciples, they were just considering it as if that is the truth, right? That is the ultimate. And they were trying to, you can say, inculcate, they're trying to understand that, and they were also practicing it in their life. So that's why we have discussed about in Unit 6, Ancient Indian Concept and Nature of Knowledge. So how the knowledge has transmitted from the ancient system of education, from the Gurukul system of education, from the Vedic system of education, from the Buddhic system of education, and slowly how it become a part of our education system, even if at the modern time of education. And we have in Unit 7, we have discussed about the medieval or the Islamic Indian concept and nature of education, the educational development during the medieval period. Okay, so we have discussed here the nature of education, the methods that were being used at the medieval period in the maktabs and the madrasas, how the teachers, they were teaching to the students, to the disciples. Okay, what media they were using, and what was the nature of education, whether that education was secular in nature or whether that education was somehow related with you can say certain religious aspect or related with the whole life, means or you can say the life skills. What are the different things that we do in our life, for living our life, for engaging ourselves in a world of work. So that's why the medieval system of education and the concept of knowledge, the ancient system of education, in the Gurukul system, in the Vedic system, in the Buddhist system, we have discussed here the nature of knowledge that we gained, and further how the knowledge has further helped us for understanding, helped us to understand education and how it become a part of the present education system. And in in block 3, you will find that 5 units are there. This has been designed in 5 units. The title of the block is Aims and Goals of Education. And you will find 5 units, that is Unit 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. In Unit 8, title is Basis of Educational Aims and Goals. Unit 9, that is Aims and Goals of Education in Indian Philosophical Traditions. Unit 10, that is Aims and Goals of Education, that is Western Thought. Then Unit 11, Aims and Goals of Education, that is Modern Indian Context. And in Unit 12, that is Aims of Education, that is Modern Thinkers. So friends, here mostly we have discussed about the aims, objectives and goals of education at different time, you can say, by the Western philosophers, what is the aim of education, by the Indian thinkers or the modern Indian context, what is the aim of education, and as well as the modern thinkers after independence or before independence, the modern thinkers, what was their vision of education, we have discussed here. So before discussing this block, the third block, let me first explain about the goals of aims and objectives. You should first understand, be a student of education, be a follower of education as a discipline, be a master student of education. You should understand that what is goal of education, what is aim of education, and what is objectives of education. So friends, goals are very broad in nature, you can say. It is related with the vision, it is related with the ideas, and aims of education that can be achievable, that is related to a particular program, you can say, the program that you are pursuing. And objectives of education, which is very narrow in sense, that is related to a particular topic or a particular unit or a particular chapter that you are studying. So let me to give one example. The goal of education, I can give the example just like to achieve national integration, to achieve international understanding, to achieve emotional interaction, emotional understanding, and to achieve universal brotherhood. You just tell me, is it possible to achieve universal brotherhood, international understanding, national integration within a single day, within a single year, within one decade? It is not possible. So many a time you will find that these are the part of our curriculum continuously, starting from the very beginning of your school education, and then after your higher education, university education, your research. So you are just coming across the values in different programs, that how to achieve the national integration, how to achieve the international understanding and universal brotherhood. Okay, and this is not happening of you can say overnight, or this is not the happening of one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, or 1 year, or 1 decade. Rather, many a time you will find that even it throughout of your life, many a time it is not possible to achieve the national integration, international understanding. Okay, so that's why these are the goal of life, which is very vast in nature. And you will find that the aim of education is somehow related with the goal of education. Aim helps to achieve the goal of education. Aim of education is related to school education curriculum, you can say college education curriculum, you can say higher education curriculum, you can say. Okay, so what is the aim? Now you are pursuing a program of education, you are doing Master of Education. Okay, so Master of Education, what is your aim? Your aim is to complete this program. Your aim is to acquire, is to understand the educational discourses, is to understand the nature of knowledge that has been addressed in this program. Okay, so what are the different educational discourses, different activities, different things, different aspects that has been included in this program, and accordingly you have to gain new experiences and new knowledge. Further, you have to practice those skills, competencies, experiences and new knowledge in different other situations, different new situations. So that's why this is somehow related with the curriculum, with the education system that we pursue. And further, the objective, that is very narrow in nature. That means today, you can say today I'm just discussing a course of your program, and I have just set certain objectives in my mind that I will discuss the 4 different blocks and the concept that has been addressed in 4 different blocks. So this is my objectives. So objectives helps to achieve the aims, then further the aims helps to achieve the goal. So this is the hierarchy. At the top, goal is there, then after aim, and then after objective. Without achieving the objective, it is difficult to achieve the aim. Without achieving the aims, it is difficult to achieve the goal. So that's why you will find that this block we have just addressed the aims, goals and objectives of education at different period of time, by different educational ideas and thoughts, and by different thinkers. In the first unit, that is in the unit 8, we have discussed the basis of educational aims and goals. We have discussed here the individual aims of education, the social aim of education. We have also discussed about the democratic aim of education. Individual aims of education, it says that education should, you can say, enable a person that one should self-sufficient, okay, self-reliant and selfless. A person should fulfill his bread and butter aim. And the social aim of education, it says that the aim of education is not only to do the betterment of the individual, rather it should bring changes. It should bring development in the society, in the community where you are living. We consider that the society and community is ever changing. Okay, so that's why the concept of society is a dynamic concept. So every time, every moment, you will find that changes that is taking place in the society. So that's why there is the social aim, that after being educated, every individual is having, or every individual are responsible for bringing changes in the society, for bringing mobility in the society. So that's why we have discussed here the social aim of education. Then democratic aim of education. We all are living in a democratic society, in a democratic country. We have the largest democracy in the world. We have, if you go through the Constitution of India, you will find that we have talked about, you will find that the things highlighted, that is the equality, the concept of equality, the concept of equity, the concept of truthfulness, the concept of honesty, and the other democratic values, so that the concept of liberty. So how to achieve it? How to achieve it? So that's why through education, this is also another aim, to achieve the democratic values and to practice the democratic values where you are living in your day-to-day life. So friends, the basis of educational aims and goals we have discussed here. Further, we have also discussed that the aims and education, that is in the next unit, that is aims and goals of education in Indian philosophical traditions. We have discussed educational philosophy, aims of education as per the educational philosophy of Sankhya Yoga, philosophy of Upanishad and its aims of education, Jaina philosophy and its aims of education, then Buddhist philosophy and its aims of education. So it may be Buddhist education, it may be Vedic system of education, it may be education system, or the, you can say, Jain philosophy of education, or it may be Upanishad, or it may be Sankhya Yoga. You will find that there are the aim of education. शिक्षा का क्या लक्ष्य है, ठीक है? तो we have discussed here in this unit. Then further, we have discussed in unit 10, we have discussed aims and goals of education of Western thought. Okay, Western thought we have discussed here. So far as the idealistic principles or the idealistic thought of education is concerned, naturalistic thought of education is concerned, pragmatic thought of education is concerned, so far as empiricism is concerned, so far as reconstructionism is concerned, so far as realism is concerned, and so far as existentialism is concerned, we have just deduced, we have just explained that what is the aim of education so far as idealism. Idealism, it says that ideas and ideologies are the important aspect of one's life. Okay, we shouldn't compromise with the ideas and ideologies, the vision. Okay, so that's why you'll find that in the Gurukul system of education, or most of the ancient, you can say, most of the philosophers or educationists, they have talked about the idealistic principles of education. You can say the aims of education, the disciplinary practices at the school, the role of teacher, the role of students. Okay, what will be as per the idealistic schools of thought. Then as per the naturalistic schools of thought, how we can get educate from the environment where we are living. When we come in contact with the environment, we experience many things. That means we learn from our experience. And many a time we learn something from our negative experiences also. Okay, so that's called as the negative education. So that is also a part of naturalistic schools of thought. Then the pragmatist school of thought, that's called as the pragmatism. It means everyday education is the reconstruction of experiences. That means nothing is permanent. Everything is, you can say, changeable. Everything is dynamic. So that's why change is the call of nature. Change is the law of nature. So every day you are reconstructing your experience. The new things, you will find that the old things are, the old things that are helping you for gaining new experiences and new knowledge. You are developing new curriculum. You are developing new courses. You are practicing new methods of teaching. You are using new technology nowadays. You see, from face-to-face education system, now we have reached at the online education system. So that's why we can say this is not a static process. So that's why, as so far as the pragmatist school of thought is concerned, that every time the system is getting changes, innovations are happening in the system. Okay, and this is because of the research. This is because of the findings of the research. So we have discussed about all these schools of thought: idealism, naturalism, pragmatism. Empiricism means how to prove something, how to believe by conducting a type of research. Okay, so that we have discussed that how to verify verify the knowledge, how to validate the knowledge. Then reconstructionism, we have discussed that how to reconstruct our earlier experiences. Okay, you can't say that the experiences that you have gained, that is fixed and that is permanent. And further, realism and existentialism. So all these things we have discussed under the Western thoughts, aims and goals of education under Western thoughts. Then further, we have discussed aims and goals of education as per the modern Indian context. So here we have discussed, in modern Indian context, we have discussed two periods, you can say, during the British period, the education system during the British period, and the education system after independence, you can say. During the British period, we have discussed about what was the shape of school education, what was the shape of higher education, what was the shape of teacher education, what was the shape of technical education. Okay, who are getting privilege to be educated, what is downwards filtration theory. Okay, the Hatton committee report, the Woods Despas, we have discussed here. And here you will find that the aims of education at the British time or the modern Indian context, that means at the British period, you will find that the education was not for all. Okay, the concept of mass education was not there. English education was giving for few elite class people. Okay, they were getting educated fast. And from there, the common people, when they are coming in contact with the elite class, they were getting educated. So that's why it is called as a downwards filtration theory. Education was getting filtered downwards, from up to the down. When down people or the common men were coming, common people were coming in contact with the elite class people, they were experiencing something and they were getting educated. But education was for the few, not for the masses. It was for the classes that we have discussed here. And further, under the Western thought, under the modern Indian context, the aim of education, we have discussed the development of education after independence, starting from the very beginning, starting of the establishment of University Education Commission 1948-49, after 1947, after the independence of India. How education had given a new shape. The system of education that was developed and modified at different course of time. Okay, the recommendations of committees and commissions, just like the University Education Commission 1948-49, the Secondary Education Commission 1952-53. Then we have discussed about Kothari Commission. We have discussed about National Policy on Education, NPE 1986, popularly which is known as 10+2+3 system of education. Then here, though it is not mentioned NEP 2020, but being a student of education, you should understand about the recent development of education. That is the NEP, National Education Policy 2020, which is notified during the month of July in the year 2020. Okay. So the fundamental principles and different aspects of education, at school education, teacher education, higher education, technical education, as per NEP 2020, which is included in the document, which is available in the website of the Ministry of Education. So friends, as per the modern Indian context, we have also discussed about the progress, the development of school education at different time, and the development of higher and other education at different time. Further, we have also discussed about aim of education of the modern thinkers. Okay, so what is the aim of education? What is the concept of education? What is the vision of education as per the modern thinkers? So we have discussed about the Indian thinkers. At the same time, we have also discussed about the Western thinkers. Under Indian thinkers, we have discussed Gandhiji, we have discussed Swami Vivekananda, we have discussed Sri Aurobindo, we have discussed Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, and under the Western thinkers, we have discussed John Dewey, we have discussed Rousseau, we have discussed then other aims of education of the contemporary educationist Paulo Freire and Ivan Illich. We have also discussed. As per Ivan Illich has given importance upon the deschooling society. Okay, a society without a school. How how to be educated, how they will get education, how a deschooling society can be created. And Paulo Freire, it gives how the experience of the individual are given importance. This has been discussed. And so far as Indian thinkers are concerned, as per the Gandhiji, as per the Rabindranath Tagore, then Sri Aurobindo, we have discussed the aim of education as per Gandhiji, the philosophy and the concept of education as per the Gandhiji, the craft-centered education, the fulfilling the basic education as per the Gandhiji that we have discussed. And as per John Dewey, as the Western thinkers, we have also discussed that how John Dewey is a pragmatist, how John Dewey has given importance upon continuous reconstruction of experiences, how importance has been given upon you can say to bring changes in the society and to implement new knowledge in the curriculum. That also we have discussed. Then further, in the last block, that is curriculum and its various aspects, I will complete it within 10 minutes. This block has been designed in 5 different units. Unit 13, that is meaning and concept of curriculum. Unit 14, that is foundations of curriculum. Unit 15, curriculum planning. Unit 16, models of curriculum designing and development. And Unit 17, that is curriculum evaluation. So friends, in this block, we have discussed about the concept of a curriculum and how to construct a curriculum, how to plan a curriculum, how to design a curriculum, and further how to implement a curriculum and how to evaluate a curriculum. So friend, curriculum study or curriculum construction is one of the aspects of the broad discipline of education. It teaches us that how the concept, what is the concept of a curriculum and how to prepare a curriculum. A curriculum includes all the experiences, all the activities that are being practiced in school, that are being practiced in an education system. Just like a curriculum includes all types of development of the individual, all types of development of the children, all types of development of the learners. It includes physical development, it includes intellectual development, it includes personality of the child, it includes emotional development, it includes social development, spiritual. So all types of developments are included in a curriculum. A curriculum practices includes both scholastic as well as co-scholastic activities. And presently we are saying that every aspect or everything, every activities that we practice in education, all are the curricular experience, all are the scholastic experience. So that's why friends, when we talk about a curriculum provides us a definite, a clear and a total knowledge for the total development of the personality of the individual. And many a times synonymously we use both the concept curriculum and syllabi simultaneously. But there is the difference between a curriculum, the concept of a curriculum, and the concept of a syllabi or a syllabus. A syllabus is very specific in nature. A syllabus or a syllabi is, you can say, it is the collection or it is a group of, or it is, you can say, a collection of certain themes or certain topics that can be implemented in a particular stage. Or you can say the syllabi of class 9th mathematics, syllabi of class 9th or class 11th history. Okay, so that means what are the different topics, what are the different content points, what are the different chapters that's supposed to be taught, that's supposed to be practices, that's supposed to be practiced at a particular stage. That is the syllabi. But when we talk about curriculum, with the syllabi, what are the other things, what are the other activities, what are the other types of development that the learners they're supposed to do. So that's why if you remember your school days, you might be you will understand that how the schools were engaging yourself in many activities. It may be literary activities, it may be drill, it may be debate, it may be discussion, it may be many group activities, it may be excursion. School, your teachers were taking you outside the school, outside the classroom, because to get certain new experiences, to get certain field-based experiences, it may be in a study tour, it may be a type of education tour. It may be a type of excursion. So that's why, friends, and you will also find that many physical activities, it may be in terms of games and sports and other activities, we do it in school. So that is the part of the curriculum. So curriculum includes syllabi, curriculum includes scholastic as well as co-scholastic aspect of the study. That means what the learners will gain from a particular program, from a particular academic program. So here we have discussed about the concept of a curriculum, then foundation of a curriculum. So friends, when we talk about a curriculum, we can say that there are the foundations of the curriculum. That means a curriculum should have a humanistic approach, should have an intellectual approach, should have certain social approach, should have certain individual approach also. Social approach means the things that you practice in the society, it should be reflected in the curriculum. Okay. And intellectual approach means the knowledge base and the theories, the principles and the concept of a particular stage relating to a particular theme, particular subject that's supposed to be discussed in the curriculum. Okay. And further, curriculum should be humanistic in nature. That means the child should get themselves, should feel their presence in the curriculum. That means the experiences of the child that they are observing in their surrounding, in their environment, should be the part of the curriculum, so that it should be humanistic in nature. That means the children can touch themselves, can feel themselves that whatever is going on in the curriculum, whatever is included in the curriculum is the part of their life. This is not something different. So friends, we have discussed all such approaches of curriculum in this block. Then further we have discussed about curriculum planning. So how we plan curriculum. So we plan curriculums starting from the very beginning. You can say that first we do a type of need study, that whether there is the need. We involve all the stakeholders. It may be the children, it may be the students, maybe the teacher, maybe the parents, maybe community member, maybe local government, maybe administration, okay, educationist. So what we do, we just establish a type of need. We just conduct a study to know the need, that इनका ये जो curriculum है develop करेंगे, ये curriculum में क्या क्या content होगा, क्या need है, जो बेनिफिशियरी होंगे, जो स्टूडेंट्स होंगे, उनका क्या नीड है, और उसी नीड को बेस करके आपका करिकुलम होना चाहिए, उसी नीड को आपको एड्रेस करना पड़ेगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई दैट शुड बी द पार्ट ऑफ द करिकुलम. सो वी कैन से दैट करिकुलम प्लानिंग, इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम a need survey, and then after you can say that a group of experts, they will sit together, they will discuss that the other aspect, that is the level of the students, the psychological construct, you can say the psychological construct for developing the curriculum, what type of content should be there, the difficulty level of the content, and how that content will be transacted, what method and techniques will be used, and what are the different activities that's supposed to be aligned with a topic, okay, and how the teacher will do that activity. So everything will be included in the curriculum. So what competency, what skill, what graduated skills that we say that the learners will acquire, that the learners will achieve from that curriculum, that are also discussed in this block. Then further models of curriculum designing and development we have discussed, and further we have discussed the curriculum evaluation. Means after developing the curriculum, after implementing the curriculum, you have used the media, different media. It may be face to face, it may be ODL, it may be online or other media you have used, and you have used different methods and techniques to teach the learners, and you have done many activities, many practical activities, demonstration as per the requirement of the curriculum. And further, after transaction, then you have also done the evaluation of the students in that curriculum who are pursuing that curriculum in a particular stage. Then you have to evaluate the curriculum. That curriculum you have to evaluate. Means you have to get an idea that the curriculum that has been developed, whether that curriculum is functioning properly or not. What are the different aspects that need certain changes? So that's why what you can do, again, you can do a feedback study. You can include the stakeholders, you can include the students, include the teachers and other stakeholders, and you can just talk to them, you can take their interview, you can just have a focus group discussion with them, and you can also use certain types of questionnaire to know their opinion. In what are the different aspects they are saying that it is adequate, and what are the different aspects they say that there is the need of certain modification. So you can evaluate the curriculum by using certain model, by using certain processes. Okay, so that's why curriculum evaluation is also another part or another unit of this block. So this block basically discussed about the concept of a curriculum, the principle of curriculum designing, and then the implementation, then further evaluating the curriculum. Then friends, the program transaction I have already discussed in my earlier video lessons. Again, let me to say that we provide course-wise, we provide self-learning material. It is available in eGyan course portal of Indira Gandhi National Open University website, and counseling sessions are conducted at the study center on different courses. Then compulsory assignment and term and examination are the part of this curriculum for evaluating the course. That means 30% weightage is given to assignment and 70% weightage are given for the term and examination, and we conduct regular TC and IRC. And presently we are also coming in contact with you by using different social media, and regularly I am doing this, and thousands of students are getting benefited of it, and I think you should go through it. At the same time, when you are going through this video, keep the lesson with you and keep the self-learning material with you, and do your study. Then the induction program is also conducted by the concerned regional center and also by the study center. So friends, today we discuss the second course of MA Education program. The course code is MES-012. Course title is Education, Nature and Purposes. And in my next session, Facebook live session, I will discuss the third course. That is, the course code is MES-013. And beforehand, I will definitely tell you the date of the session when I will take. For further queries, you can write a mail to me, niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can make me a phone call also. My intercom is 2994, and you can visit my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, and my Twitter handle. You will find more than 200 videos basing upon different themes on education are there in my Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter handle. And definitely you will be benefited if you go through these video programs. Thank you.